stocking requirements be? What inventory levels should we maintain there? How much was it going to cost for us to do all of this?
Usually, a manufacturer will ship finished products to its own warehouse to await shipment when the customer orders it. Yet increasingly, manufacturers are finding it more efficient to use the services of public warehouses. Logistics managers at a public warehouse need to be flexible.
Primarily what we're doing is holding goods after manufacture and probably mixing from goods from a variety of plants to meet the customer demands. With 250 major customers, we may have several hundreds of ways of doing the same thing. So we have to have people who can operate in a very variable kind of environment.
An order from a customer initiates a chain of events which results in the shipment of products out of a distribution center. How quickly and how accurately a customer's order is processed will determine whether a company keeps that customer. Frequently, order processing is an entry-level function in a larger customer service department.
One of the things that customer service gets involved in is actually pulling the business together. Not only do they get involved with the sales rep in terms of helping them perform their jobs, going out and talking to the customers, but we also get involved in with working with distribution, making sure that the product was shipped out when it was supposed to, getting involved with the credit department, the folks who actually invoice the customers to make sure that the invoice was processed properly.
Orders are often transmitted directly from a customer's computer to a supplier's computer, which improves order turnaround time and accuracy. Closer relationships between suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, and customers are quickening the flow of goods in the logistics pipeline. The transportation or traffic department handles the actual movement of products out of a warehouse to the next customer. Transportation is often the single largest cost in the logistics system. It must be managed effectively.
My main responsibilities involve the negotiating of rates and the selection of carriers that are to be used for shipping our product from our distribution centers to the branches, and then in turn from the branches to our customers.
The time factor is becoming more and more critical in the marketplace, so your ability to do things faster, cost effectively, will give you the competitive edge. And that's something that I think in our transportation group we look to do, to give our company networks and ideas and systems that will help give us the competitive edge.
Should the company own and operate its own fleet of trucks, or should the company contract with an outside freight carrier? Carriers provide efficient service by continuously picking up small shipments from many different customers in a given area and then consolidating or reloading several of these small shipments into large truckloads destined for a single location.
To give you an idea of the magnitude of business that we handle, on any given day we're moving on an outbound basis from the Chicago market approximately 3.5 million pounds of freight, about 3,400 shipments.
Generally, products will flow outbound from a distribution center to either a retailer or wholesaler. The wholesaler, sometimes known as a distributor, is a middleman who buys large quantities from the manufacturer and sells small quantities to the retailer.
We try and bring an assortment of products to the marketplace using the capacity that we have to move those products in the transportation channel, to store those products in our distribution centers, which no single manufacturer could afford to do.
The final stage of product and information flow begins when the manufacturer or wholesaler ships the product to the retail store warehouse. As a service to retailers, many manufacturers and wholesalers have begun delivering products directly to the retail store, complete with all necessary merchandising support. Here again, the time a product spends in the logistics pipeline is shrinking. At the store, the ultimate goal of every logistics operation is fulfilled. The right product to the right place at the right time, in the right condition, at the right cost. The flow of information parallels the flow of products through the logistics pipeline.
In a very real sense, logistics managers are information managers. And the more you can manage information instead of inventory, I think the more your company will appreciate what you are contributing to the bottom line.
We handle the system like a tool. We give our users a tool, and we let the tool and the user together build a solution. There's an opportunity there to put the computer to work to help us trim our costs and provide service to the customer.
The desire to enhance its internal capabilities may lead the manufacturer to use outside logistics services. Among these services are facility design, bill payment and auditing, export-import specialists, and management consulting.
As an international freight forwarder, the basic services that we provide for our clients is to safely move their cargoes from the United States to whatever country that they are shipping their goods to. We do the coordination or booking with the steamship lines. We book their cargoes. We do all the documentation that it takes to move the cargo.
Now that we've taken a quick run through the logistics pipeline, let's consider the career paths available to students entering the field of logistics. You should be aware of some basic guidelines. The first is that newly hired employees must be prepared to learn and contribute quickly.
I've been in a 6-month training program, and I've gone through various departments, and every time I get through a department, the managers always want my input on what I saw and how I think things could possibly operate better.
Every company takes a different organizational approach to logistics. As the role of logistics in corporate strategic planning continues to grow, organizations are restructuring to reflect that role.
Many major corporations have a vice president responsible for logistics. So logistics is being recognized as a major function, just like marketing, manufacturing, finance, accounting. And I think we're going to see more of that in the future. Many others, though, don't. Customer service may be part of marketing. Inventory may be manufacturing's responsibility or finance. But regardless of the organization's structure, inventory needs to be managed, orders need to be processed, product needs to be transported.
At manufacturing companies, wholesalers and retailers, career paths in logistics are now beginning to lead to the office of the Chief Executive Officer. At companies which provide specialized logistics services, transportation companies, public warehouses, export-import services, management consulting, career paths already lead to the top. Generally speaking, positions in companies that manufacture goods come under two broad headings: materials management and distribution. In each specific area, an entry-level employee might be called an analyst, specialist, coordinator, or supervisor, to name some of the most common titles. People in those jobs tackle specific assignments and meet short-term goals. From there, people can progress into management. Each functional area is usually headed by a person known as a manager. In your career, you can expect to hold more than one supervisory and managerial position. Then, the progression is up to a position known as director, which means broader responsibility than just one functional area and involves long-range planning. A vice president would have even broader and longer-range responsibilities and would oversee a wide range of logistics activity. Titles and responsibilities will vary depending on company size and industry, but access to the higher-level positions of director and vice president requires broad-based experience early on in the career. For example, this executive began her career as transportation supervisor and became a warehouse manager. Then she made a diversion to become a sales manager. After several years, she returned to the operational side of logistics as a customer service manager. When the company reorganized to place greater emphasis on logistics, she became a director with network planning responsibility and eventually vice president of distribution.
And I now have responsibility for half of the United States, about 37 distribution centers, about 4 million square feet of distribution space, about 1,200 employees, and it's wonderful. It's a general management position. It's not just transportation and distribution, but it's